Sucha, Uben Nefer, good rising, great awakening. I'm just getting this set up here. If you wanted to my friends are live, invite them to go live together. I didn't invite people on here. Let's see. I don't know if anybody's on. I guess it's green. Oh, good rising, great awakenings. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, SE764. I'm setting up the chimes now. Let me see if I can turn this so I'm not totally. Oh, wait, I have to change this setting. Mirror video. Okay. All right. All right, so I'm going to finish setting up the chimes. It's the new moon, or at least we're moving into the constellation of Sidereal Libra or Ma'at. So let me get set up. Lower. All right, that's set up. Good. Oh, Good Rising, Great Awakenings. Thank you for tuning in to Good Rising TV. This is an episode of Wellness Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we're going to start off with a little, just thank you, July English, for the love. And yes, here's my little sign. Good Rising, Great Awakenings. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tapping your screen. So what is Good Rising TV and who am I? Good Rising TV is an outlet for me to engage with the community rather than just making offerings, and to inspire me to get back into my research project. So it's an outlet for me to share my research projects, research findings, and see what we can come up with. And we usually have different topics of wellness, including sound healing, frequencies, what is my frequency book? Astrology, pendulum readings, herbalism, flower essences. I see I forgot my book of frequencies, but we're doing astrology today. And just different topics. So my name is Tachia, aka Arit, and I have been on this path of healing and wellness. The sun is really shining in here right now, causing a shadow on my little face. Put it on the other side. Since my awakening back in 1984, when I was a grad student in astronomy at UT Austin, I was a student of cultural astronomy. And I was assaulted by one of my fellow classmates, who is now probably the most famous astronomer in the world in our lifetime. And so all these practices are things that brought me back from intense depression and numbness and inability to communicate. I didn't know myself. I was completely destroyed. And so I'm sharing these tools that have been a part of my healing journey. And for those of you that are tuning in, I hope you stick around for the end after we have some discourse on sound healing or wellness. Then we open it up for discussion and questions. So I hope you're able to stay around. But we usually start off with an astrology reading of some sort. And so I have some tuning forks here. TikTok, come at you. Where are they? TikTok. Went the wrong way here. Oh, move some of this stuff out. There we go. So you can see them. I'm going to be playing them. And when I start the subscriptions, there will be regular celestial offerings and musical offerings. But I'm just now getting used to this new live format. So I'm going to have a little bit of it today. It's not the best view of this tuning fork. Let me try. They're not even tuning forks, they're chimes. There you go. I call them tuning forks because I also have tuning forks that I use for self-care and for healing others. This Mac cannot connect to the iCloud. That's okay. I don't remember my password. All right. So I was not able to access the chart for today, but I do know that the sun and the moon are moving into Sidereal Libra. So we have the tone for Sidereal Libra, which is Venus. You can't even hear that. And the month of October. We always start with Anpu, the opener of the way. We have Ra, the sun, and the new moon or Sasheta moving into Sidereal Libra or Ma'at. So I'm just going to have a short Uja, Uben Nefer, to those of you on YouTube and TikTok. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, July English, for showing the love. Thank you, Alita, for tuning in. If you stick around to the middle point, we'll open it up for discussion. We're going to start with our Cosmic Chimes and Chanting session for the new moon in Sidereal Libra or season of Ma'at. is restored, reset, rejuvenated again and again as we begin again, new beginnings of beauty, peace, harmony, justice, righteousness. As we begin this new day of creation, of goodness and abundance are open to me. Naku aku, naku ra, naku sashata, naku heteru, naku ma. Do unto, do peace, 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 All right, that was benevolent. Uja, Dua, Good Rising. Welcome to Good Rising TV, where we cover different topics as we go along our spiritual journey towards ascension, enlightenment, decolonization, leaving the construct of Western imperialism, whatever it means to you. I know many people say grand rising. I still say good rising because God is good. And we're gods and goddesses, rising in consciousness, rising in awareness, rising in understanding. So I wish to you good rising, great awakening. Good great awakenings refers to the great awakening when we awaken to the illumination of reality, awakening from the veil of ignorance that's been cast over humanity for a very long time. All right, so on Wellness Wednesdays, we covered all these different topics of healing and wellness, the ones that have benefited me on my path, my journey back from trauma, from the days of my young adult years. So next we talk about different frequencies. And of course, I came up here without my charts, so we're just going to talk about frequencies in general. and how frequencies benefit us. I'm sure you're tuned in to different different creators, especially on YouTube and Spotify, the audio platforms where they have music for cleaning your house, and music for going to sleep, and music for increasing your abundance, and music for healing from trauma, and music for healing relationships, music for finding your true love, different frequencies and different musics for these different healing purposes. And so how do they work? What are they about? Well, uh, for instance, these chimes that I use, the ones that we just had the little sound healing for, they're tuned to the different planetary frequencies based on Kepler's calculations when he determined the speed and the weight and the mass and the orbit and the rotation from their Ucha, good rising, Nitra. We're just talking about frequencies. If you want to join in the conversation, just talking about different frequencies and how they bring about healing. And then we have solfeggio frequencies, which are really popular these days. And the way they come out with these binaural beats and the solfeggio frequencies is they'll play the, let's see if I can reach my phone without knocking over the studio. They play different frequencies. For example, 963 or the Nebuchadnezzar frequencies. Grand Rising Great Awakenings is for connecting with the divine. Now, we're not going to go into the discussion on how they determine that because I have to do more research. But I have found the solfeggio to have beneficial effects. So they would find the frequency, like on your phone, there's apps. Let's see if I can find one quickly. Uja, Nefer. Yeah, we're just talking about frequencies right now. So yeah, so I have this app on my phone called a tone generator app, and you simply dial in the frequency. Like I started with 963, so we have 963, right? And then you just play it. And then you could just have that playing in the background and then have your favorite music playing over it, right? Or what musicians, and what I'm getting ready to start doing is having each one of these frequencies playing and then compose music that is in harmony with the frequency. And then that piece of music would be, for example, this is 963. That's the solfeggio frequency for connecting to the divine. So then I would name that piece of music, connecting to the divine, or do a Nebuchadnezzar. And so you could just, any list of frequencies, you could find solfeggio, the celestial. They have lists of frequencies for the chakras. They have lists of frequencies for healing different organs. I'm a little suspicious of those because everyone's organ is different, and my organ at its optimal health might not vibrate at the same frequency as someone with a different body shape, style, size, dimension, and also the level of health. Their optimum frequency might be different than mine. So I don't usually use those. I try to stick with the ones that are more universal. So those are ways that you could use frequencies in your own life. Even if you don't have tuning forks or chimes, you could just download one of these apps. What is this one called? Tone generators. It's the tone generator app, and you can just play it in the background like all day, and you'll feel a difference. So why do frequencies work on our bodies? Because our bodies are mostly made out of water, like 80% water is the average. And if you've studied Dr. Emoto, if you heard me talk about Dr. Emoto, he did research on water. He took samples of water, like just glasses of water. Oh, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the gifts and for sharing love. And if you have any comments, just join in this mini conversation on frequencies. And he took samples of water from a polluted source, like Lake Michigan, I guess, even though I swim in it. And so after same sample from the same source, but then after someone prayed over it, And I do pray when I go to the Lake Michigan. And then you take samples of water and you write words on it, like, I love you, you're beautiful. Or also another sample, you put, I hate you, or F you, or you're stupid. And then he froze the water samples and looked at them under a microscope. And the water samples that was positive or purified or prayed over, they were perfectly aligned like snowflakes. And the ones with toxic energy or had negative messages were like this. And so we are bombarded with sounds that we don't choose. We don't know the frequencies. We don't know the purposes of these frequencies. They could be using super high frequencies that we don't even hear with our ears. I know, like when the airplanes go by, or the ambulance, or the fire truck, or when you hear gun violence out, the guns going off, or your EFT frequencies from your refrigerator or your cell phone. All these are frequencies. The news, you're watching TV and all the bad news on the news. These are all sounds and frequencies that impact our bodies. We're tuning to those sounds. Even the music scale, they say, has been altered from the original music scale, which was planetary. So when the church fixed the music scale, and we're listening to them right now, we're tuning into unnatural music frequencies, even though they do have positive effects on us. It's not the ones from nature. The original music scale was taken either from the planets or the solfeggio frequencies, which they say is where we get do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Like I said, I need to do more research. But anyway, that is one way you can use frequencies in your daily life, is by downloading a frequency tone generator app and just playing them in the background all day, just different frequencies. Or you could just listen to them on YouTube or Spotify, your favorite music platform. They have different frequencies. And another one, when it's binaural beats, they have two different ones playing at the same time. And that gives you a different effect. That's why when we use chimes, we use at least two. Can you see them? Or tuning forks, we use at least two, because it's not just the individual frequency, it's the harmonics between the two frequencies. All right, so are there any questions or comments about frequencies? Good rising, Diamond Bus, and Applesauce, Bahamas. This is just a Good Rising TV Wellness Wednesday. We're just going through different topics of healing and wellness. And we just had, I think I turned it on. Yeah. Just
awesome information. Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I turned it back on again. And you can even turn the volume way down low so you don't hear it, and you'll still get the effects. So in fact, let me just do that. Turn it on low, and it'll just be playing in the background. Okay. So then that was frequencies. And then we already had a little sound healing demonstration with the different chimes for the new moon. We had the tone for the new moon, the sun, Anpu, the opener of the way, and Heteru, or tone for Ma'at, because we're in the constellation of Libra, which is Ma'at, and then Libra is ruled by the planet Venus. So we have Venus representing Ma'at and Libra. Okay, so next we have a pendulum. If anyone's interested in a pendulum reading, I'm available. If you have any questions, yes or no, answers only. You need a demonstration, show me yes. So it moves back and forth. Show me no. And then it will slow down and change direction. Show me no. So yeah, so people have been using pendulums for a long time. I've been using them since around 2007 or 2008. I started using pendulums because one of my abundance coaches, affluence coach. She was my affluence coach. And she became a multimillionaire by doing these energy readings for people. Oh, yes. Thank you very much. Thanks for tuning in. And thank you for tapping the screen and for sharing your gifts. I really appreciate you. And also on TikTok, you can see the heart up above when you're visiting your favorite content creator. You can tap that and join their team. I used to think joining the team was the same as a subscriber, but it's not. You're just there to support. So thank you. Nitra is one of my biggest supporters, and I love to collaborate with her. And then when I stop to thank you, I lose my train of thought. But I was talking about pendulums. So yeah, so she became a millionaire by doing energy readings for people. She did muscle testing, and I never felt comfortable. Oh, thank you. I never felt comfortable with that, but I do feel better about pendulum readings because it's reading the energy. I feel like it really does pick up on the energy. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. That's why people play it with music, because if you're just hearing the sound, it just gets kind of distracting. So I'm going to turn it even down lower. So I'm playing 963 to help us connect with the divine. And so there's a list of questions that we're taught to ask patients or clients. And, one of them is, I'm going to do a reading on myself right now because I still have this obstacle with my financial freedom and abundance. And I know that's tied to my root chakra. And I do have a program where I take people through the 40-day prosperity plan. And it works so well that I haven't really promoted it anymore because it's so intense. It has to be like really better organized. But I do have the website openyourmoneyflow.com, and if you want to do like a one-on-one wellness coaching with that, it really truly works. And if I could, I would just devote all my time to improving my relationship with money, but I'm so busy trying to share with you all that I haven't found out how to do both. But anyway, it's called, I'm sorry, my back is to you. It's called Open Your Money Flow.com. And it's really about opening your root chakra. Openyourmoneyflow.com. Oops. Opening your root chakra because your financial freedom, your wellness, your sense of security and strength, stability is stored there. And if you experience trauma, your root chakra could be out of alignment. Root alignment. So even though it's called openyourmoneyflow.com, it's really about root chakra alignment and improving your relationship with money, because money is just energy. And so if you just work on it frequently, you'll be successful. And that's my weakest link is my consistency, because it is a time commitment. It is a time commitment. It's 10 affirmations. Oh, I'm going to write that down. 40-day prosperity plan. And I did not invent this prosperity plan. It's by John Randolph Price. Let me say down. And it's 10 affirmations, and you recite them twice a day for 10 days, and you go through and start again. And it's 40 days. Oh, beautiful plans. 40-day prosperity plan. And so, I can't see everything. There we go. Open my phone. So when I take people through the prosperity plan program, Open Your Money Flow program, we work a lot on identifying blocks, and then we do things to remove them. So, yes, I forgot about the Light Fest. Thank you. So, does anyone have I see a few people are on here. If you're interested in a quick pendulum reading, just type in a question or something in there. Otherwise, I'm going to work on mine. So I'm going to identify What is blocking my root chakra right now? Because I've opened, what's the word I'm trying to say? I've let the world know about Astroloby Temple. Before it was really a hidden thing. I wasn't talking about it publicly. And now I've opened it up, and now I'm declaring it as a real thing. So I'm getting ready to have actual sessions here at the temple space. We're going to start the yoga classes actually on Friday, November 1st, the middle of fall. And the online offerings are going to be starting soon. So I need to take it to the next level with the paperwork. And I've come into a little obstacle. So I want to remove this obstacle with the paperwork for Astroloby Temple. So the first thing is this obstacle right now. Is this possibly, you can't see it. Let's turn it a little bit more this way. Is this obstacle possibly connected to my ancestors? No, because I know one of my great grandfathers was a pastor. No, all right. Is this block in the paperwork for Astroloby Temple? I'm trying to get it so you can see. So front and back is yes, and side to side is no. Try to get it so you can see it in both. It's so backwards. Okay, here we go. All right. All right. Is this obstacle with the paperwork for Astroloby Temple? Is it based on my past life? Something in my past life experience? No. All right. Is this obstacle with my paperwork for Astroloby Temple? Is it based on something in my life, this current life? Yes. All right. Yes. All right. Preconception. Preconception. The block with Astroloby Temple is based on something that happened during my preconception. All right. What about conception? No. What about labor, birth, after birth, first year of life? Any other time in my life, this block with the paperwork for my Astroloby Temple is just strictly from my preconception. Preconception. Okay. Well, I had absolutely nothing to do with that. And it said it was not about my ancestors. So it was something between, even though my mother and father are ancestors, something within them that leading to this block. So the first thing we do is we just simply remove the block and say, okay, we're just going to remove whatever block is causing this obstacle with the paperwork for Astroloby Temple from my preconception. So we just scan, we just go like this. Whatever is causing this block in my paperwork for Astroloby Temple, I'm removing in this moment. And it's going to open the way for me to have clarity and a clear way as I move forward with this paperwork. All right. So I did that small bit of removing blocks. Have I cleared the way in this first step for the paperwork for Astroloby Temple? And now it's saying yes. I have made a way for the first step. Okay, great. So let's see if I can find out what's the second step. All right. What is the next step with this paperwork? Let me see. Okay, I'm going to be doing a ceremony while I'm doing the botanicals, right? It came to me, yes. Okay, so the next step is the botanicals, okay, which is a great introduction to the next topic on another topic on the list, which is herbs and herbalism. And don't have any books to share on that. I brought another book, but botanicals, I'm sure Nitra is familiar with botanicals, using botanicals in your spiritual work, in your healing work. I suppose most people would say botanicals, but I say botanicas. And
hand in hand.
Yes, I work with this place called a Botanical Original, and they're in New York. I don't know if whenever I go back, I'd like to visit them. but they're the ones that first introduced me to this subject of using herbs and remedies or concoctions, whatever you want to call them, formulas, when you're doing your cleaning work, when you're doing your cleansing work, when you're preparing the space, when you're preparing your healing space, your temple space, your workspace. You dust, you vacuum, you sweep, you mop whatever wood floors or carpeting or tile, and then you go through and rinse with different herbal formulas. And so, like, I'm going to work on the one I have. I think I have one for fighting injustice and legal battles, things like that. So I'm going to because I'm in preparation for that tomorrow evening. I'm doing botanical work today and tomorrow, which is why I kept this chart up here. It shows the spiral dance medicine wheel, the natural holy days, and we're coming into the time of the middle of fall. The middle of fall is when the veil between the realm of the living and the realm of the dead is open, and it stays open until the middle of winter. And so on Dia de los Muertos, November 1st, when we honor our ancestors, we honor the dead. But on All Hallows Eve or Halloween, which is tomorrow evening at around midnight, that's when you have your ceremonies to clean your space. That's when I'll be doing the botanicas and sage. Where's my sage? What's up here? Sage. That's why I have marigolds, different things like that. So that is how I know that would be the next step for me to remove this obstacle with the paperwork for Asmodish Temple. It's very interesting that was preconception, and I'm going to have to make a note of that because I've never really, it's never really come up for me before when I did readings on myself. So I'm going to look into that. Because it said it was not ancestral and it was not anything else but that. So I'm going to look into that. Alrighty then. Okay, now we've got a book I'd like to share with you all. This book is called Are You Confused? And when I first got into alternative health and healing and wellness, I was studying with these gentlemen in Austin, Texas, and they had a naturopathic clinic. They had chiropractic, herbs, Bach flower remedies, homeopathic remedies, and I think they had massage. It was my first, how did I get there? I dropped out of grad school. I had various temp jobs, and then I think they were advertising for a receptionist, and I got the job as a receptionist. And up until then, I didn't know anything. I'd become vegan. I'd become vegetarian, vegan. I was doing yoga, but I did not know about herbs or natural healing or anything. And so Dr. Bill Nager, who was a naturopath, he took me to a used bookstore and we bought tons of used books, all on herbs. We bought Survival in the 21st Century, and these were all American authors. I didn't know about the indigenous African connection to natural health at that time. That's how ignorant I was. It just, it was a new age to me. I didn't know about it. And we bought the Materia Medica, which is the homeopathic guide. I got into Bach flower remedies. He got me the Jethro Tull Back to Eden herb book. And I just started studying everything. And I had this gig at this naturopathic clinic. I was learning about all these different modalities. It was amazing. So anyway, this book is called Are You Confused by Pablo Arreola, PhD, ND. And he was a doctor, and he just got sick and tired of, same thing as with the guy who came up with these exercises for healing your eyes. But he points out the connection between the medical industry, the food industry, the agricultural industry, the FDA, the eye doctors, the pharmaceuticals, the media, the meat packing industry. He just illustrates how they're all connected to keep us sick and dumb. Vaccines, everything that's coming out right now, as just matter of fact, back in the day, it was revolutionary. Let's see, what does it say here? He's got all the different things, you might have questions about in health. The authoritative answers to controversial questions by world-famous nutritionist, naturopathic doctor, and award-winning health writer Pablo Arriola, best-selling author of How to Get Well, Rejuvenation Secrets from Around the World at Work, Health Secrets from Europe, etc. And like I said, when I first got into this, I wasn't aware of people like Dr. Sebi or Dr. Africa or Queen Afua. This is just part of my healing journey. And I really like the way he breaks it down. This book was put out in, does it say? It has to say. Well, the first owner of the book was 1977, and I got the book in 1984. It's got to say, here we go. Hardcover printing, 1971. Are you confused? So, the Deconfusion Book on Nutrition and Health, the latest scientific research and authoritative answers to the most controversial questions. So I guess what I'm going to do, like what I do is just randomly select a page and I'll just read from it. Okay. Lactose, natural food for intestinal flora. So like I said, I haven't read this book in a long time. All I know is I read this book in 3 days and became a vegetarian. That's really all I can tell you. I haven't looked at it in years. I know my dad is lactose intolerant. I don't know much about lactose, but let's see what he says. Dr. Boris Sokolov has made extensive research on the intestinal flora, and his conclusion is that the secret of remaining healthy is to provide the beneficial bacteria in the intestines with the proper food. Quote unquote, drink plenty of acidophilus milk, unquote, is Dr. Sokolov's advice. Lactose is the natural food for the beneficial acidophilus bacteria. And note, this lactose appears only in milk. There is no other way to obtain this form of sugar. Lactose is not digested in the stomach or small intestines, but is transported undigested into the large intestine where it is used as food for the beneficial acidophilus bacteria. In addition, to helping establish healthful intestinal balance, lactose aids the body in another way. It assists in the assimilation of several important minerals, chiefly calcium, phosphorus, and magnesium. Experiments have demonstrated that giving lactose along with bone meal has doubled the calcium retention from the bone meal. So this is a person who is still in the milk diet. And I guess what he's saying is it's better for you to drink goat's milk than it is to eat meat. So that is his stance. I know my dad was lactose intolerant, and I don't do well on milk, but I would agree that drinking milk is better than eating meat. So, and he does go on to talk about mucus. Okay, yeah. So anyway, that is the reading for today from this book, Are You Confused? I would highly recommend this book if you're transitioning from a regular meat diet to vegetarian. Yeah, I guess this guy is vegetarian, not vegan. Yeah, because he also has a chapter on wholesale grains and nuts. So yeah, I just chose the most awkward page in the book because I'm not lactose tolerant. So hopefully in the future when I choose another page from his book, it'll be about the vegan diet. But I can see why someone who's transitioning from a meat diet to a vegetarian diet, I can understand why he'd have that chapter in his book. So thank you. And again, Dr. Pablo Arriola, you are one of the revolutionaries that led me to my healthy lifestyle today. And that's what Wellness Wednesday is all about. Okay, so I ran a little over. I just want to do one more topic on wellness, and that would be the Bach flower remedies. Like I said, when I first started this journey, I got into Bach flower remedies. I want to talk about them. And I do have books by Dr. Africa and Queen of Fu and Dr. Astroloby. I'm just revisiting my healing journey. Like I said, I haven't really opened that book in 30 years. I've been a vegan for 38 years now. Okay, so I wanted to spend some time with the Bach flower remedies. Last week I told my story of how I came into them, so I'm not going to repeat that story today. But I would like to just keep talking about them. So what are the Bach flower essences? Well, back in the 1930s, Dr. Edward Bach traveled to Africa and observed that the healers there had this practice, and this wasn't their only practice, but he observed that they take containers of pure water and set them next to flowers, like they set fresh flowers, living flowers, not these dead marigolds. Not these marigolds. Put them next to the flowers, and then the flower would transfer its healing properties to the water. And so he came back to England and started Bach flower essence, Bach flower remedies, and he's the one that's credited with discovering these flower essences, which is a shame. And that's one of the reasons why I include them on Wellness Wednesday talks. So what are they? Basically, they just collect these essences, and they use brandy as a preservative. So and they also have versions without the brandy, but the brandy is the more traditional. And in Africa, they use alcohol for preserving as well. And they come in little vials like these. This one is Centauri. And they're similar to homeopathics because it's based on using very small quantities, like just a drop. So then you would look up your condition, like on here they have this beautiful directory of what each one is for inside the lid. Or you could do like an oracle reading. They have these cards. You could just choose your remedy from the cards. Or you could see a practitioner. Like I'm a practitioner. You can come to me for a reading. And then there's so in the Bach flower kit, there's 38 remedies, but there's actually, this is a comprehensive guide, and it's got to be hundreds. Last week was the first time I realized that there's more than 38 in this book. Let's see, did they tell me? This book was put out in 1986 by the Flower Essence Society. And it doesn't really tell me how many there are, but there are a lot. So you can identify either by the quality of the flowers or by your condition. So I think last time I read from what are flower essences. Here we go. Let's go on to the next page. How are flower essences selected? Okay. How are flower essences selected? When we first discover the essences, it is a common experience to feel overwhelmed by having so many possibilities. How can we choose the most appropriate essences for ourselves, friends, or clients? Whether in a home health or clinical setting, the key elements are the same. We must know ourselves or those whom we are helping, and we must learn the soul language of the flower essences. So homeopathic remedies are for healing like biological issues. Herbs, they help you heal biological and some emotional issues. But these flower essences they're just more precise, let me put it that way, and they're more powerful because they're so diluted. Like in homeopathy, the more diluted it is, the more powerful it is. Creating a dialogue, identifying the main issues. The first step in a selection process is to identify the key soul issues. There we go. It's a soul healing. It's for healing you at the soul level, not just the physical level. not just the emotional level, but the soul level. So I have to remember that. This is best done through dialogue, conversation with others, or an inner examination, which helps us contact our deepest feelings. In both cases, success in choosing appropriate essences is dependent on our ability to be honest and open about ourselves. Sometimes the soul issues we need to work with which we need to work are readily apparent. More frequently, identifying these issues takes some exploration. We may begin with a general sense of malaise, but not be able to distinguish specific problems. We may be more aware of physical distress and need to see the inner message of our symptoms. We may experience frustration or overwhelm but lack insight into the underlying causes. One more paragraph. Oh, two more. The development of awareness in the self-reflection or counseling process can be aided by a process of questioning. This is reminding me of the pendulum readings. And what's coming to me is I'm going to look through here and determine which flower essence to put together to help me remove this obstacle with the Osmotic Temple paperwork that apparently is from my preconception, because it's at a soul level. So if it's not ancestral, soul level, it was like when I was coming in, because if it was ancestral, it would be my mom or dad, but it's preconception, right? So I'm seeing it's the time when I was trying to decide if I was coming back or not. And I have always had the feeling that I did not want to come back, and that in the past existence, I had the same mission, but I ended my life. I unalived myself. And in this lifetime, I'm not supposed to unalive myself. I'm supposed to complete the mission. I've had that type of reading. I've had the type of reading where in the previous lifetime, I was the original owner of this building. And that's why I'm here now, even though I tried to get away. Okay, several good beginning questions to ask are, what is my life purpose and how is this purpose reflected in my daily work? What is my next step in life? How do I feel about my relationship with others? What lessons am I learning right now? The questioning process itself contributes to an inner meditative attitude so that one can begin to see the soul life more effectively and choose parties of development. The importance of asking questions is illustrated by the story of Parzival's quest for the Holy Grail. He enters the castle of the ailing Fisher King, but because he neglects to ask the question, "Brother, what ails thee?" he misses the opportunity to be an agent of healing. The king has the grail, but he cannot partake of its power until the question is asked. The ability to listen, observe, and ask questions is fundamental to every flower essence selection process. The ability to listen, observe, and ask questions, that is the same steps of when you're studying with the Temple of Aset. First, you have to listen to the teachings. Then you have to practice the teachings. Then you have to experience the teachings. It's the same principle. Okay, so, and then when we're talking about the Holy Grail, I think in the last reading, the Holy Grail had to do something with enlightenment, and I don't remember, but it's all related. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, what they do is they have the different afflictions that you can have. And so I'm going to go to the table of contents and look through the afflictions that deal with, because, and then, so when you make your own, you get the purified water and brandy. I used bourbon. I didn't have any brandy, so or maybe I didn't. I don't know. And you add a few drops, only 3 drops to this vial of water, and then you only add 3 drops to your glass of water. And so I've been using the ones for confidence, and that's for myself, and being compassionate and tolerant of others, when we're having a different opinion. So I've been using that for a couple of weeks, and I don't know, but I'm back here on a live stream. I really wasn't going to do it, and now I'm here doing it, talking about these really difficult topics and talking about my personal healing journey. So anyway, so now I'm going to look for the one for my legal issues and its paperwork. And it's 3 pages long, but front and back of the different afflictions that these flower essences can heal. And I only have 38, so I may have to find another source for the rest of them. But anyway, let's go. Flower Essence Repertory, Selection Guide, Soul Issues and Themes. So I'm just gonna go through ambition, anger, anxiety. Let's see, do I have a pen? All I have is a marker. Okay, that's all right. I don't even know if I have a piece of paper. Oh wait, there we go. No. Wait. Okay, let's see if there's a piece of scratch paper in here. Nope. Oh, you know what? I have my phone. I have my spare phone. Okay. I'm just going to make a note of which ones, and then I'm going to make myself a remedy later. And then we'll open it up to questions. So I just notes on my phone here. Okay, so I'm going to go with abuse. That was prevalent. Ambition. My dad said when I went away to college, I lost my ambition. Anger. That was the first time anybody really talked to me about the problems going on in the world. Up until then, I was just, a straight A student, pom-pom girl, ice skater. I didn't really know about so much. Anxiety, authority. This is just the A's. Oh my gosh. Authority, barriers, breakthrough. I need a breakthrough. Breakthrough. Certainty. I need this to work. Need this to work. Certainty. City life. Oh my gosh. There's a flower essence for city life. Who knew? I never knew about this one. Like I said, I only knew about the ones for Bach flower. I didn't know about all these other ones. Courage. I think you already know. Courage.
I forgot I had the use of my microphone, so I wrote it in the chat, but I definitely need that one.
Which one? Which one? City life. Okay.
For city life.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
I was today years old when I found out about it as well.
Yeah, I never heard of this one. I put 3 stars next to it. Detail. That's one of my weaknesses. I just like.
Thank you for the taps.
Oh yes. Thank you for tapping your screen.
Natural mystic.
Oh, I know natural mystic. Good rising, great awakenings. Thank you for tapping your screen. All right. We just got. Oh, good. This is one more page. Oh, but it's a long page. Doubt. So what I'm doing right now is I'm making a list of flower essences as it pertains to me wanting to overcome this obstacle with the paperwork, which is the next step for Osmology Temple. I've run into an obstacle, and there's really no one who can help me through this. I have to figure this out, and it's a matter of trust. Like other times that I've come to this point, I didn't have full trust, but there was someone to help me get through it, and this time it's my trust that I have to depend on, and so it's taking the temple to the next level. Oh, right here. So I'm going through this list of afflictions that can be treated with, Supreme Grand Rising and Great Awakenings to you, Natural Mystic Gems. Yeah. And so that's what I'm working on right now. Failure. Yes, I have this, I'm just like assuming that it's not going to work whenever I feel really bad about things. So I have to get over that. Frustration. Only to the F's. But this is something I need to do. Groundedness. So I'm not going to put all these in one formula, but I'm making a list. And then once I get, I'll just have different ones. Can't put them all in one list. on one formula, but I have a list of the ones I want to work on. Okay. Oh, inadequacy. That's one I'm telling. Adequacy and indecision. No, I'm getting better with that because I have my pendulum. Insecurity, though. And not just in life, but just around this issue of this paperwork with the temple, because it's a 508c1a, and there's just not a lot of places to go for help, for assistance, leadership, manifestation. And you'd be amazed at all the ones on this list. I had no idea they had them. Materialism and money. That's another one of my issues. I know it's just energy. I just don't understand it. I don't resonate with it. I was watching this, not resonate, but I just don't understand how you charge people for money, for tools so they can get wow. I just don't feel right doing it. And I was watching that guy, Afro Science and Spirituality on YouTube, and he was like, you charge money for your services and your practices to protect them from people that want to harm you or steal them or use them for evil. And so I can work with that. So I'm working on that. So that's why I added that to this list. Just learning how to see it differently. Ooh, scatteredness. The polite word for that is multitasking. Scatteredness. But yesterday I finally cleared off my desk. I had months of paperwork that needed to be addressed, just piling up on my desk. So I spent hours going through it, filing it, putting it away, clearing the space. You can see my desk again. But when I made the decision to focus on finishing my books and vacuuming the walls, something had to go. Okay, we just have self-actualization. 2 more columns. Self-actualization. Because I really do believe in the mission of Asmadaji Temple, and I believe in the power of Asmadaji Temple. I believe in the spirit of Asmadaji Temple because I've had an experience, so I know that it's real, even if it's only real for me because no one else has tried to have this experience. The thing I'm not really sure of is how the officials will recognize this entity legally. So that's what I'm working on right now. Okay, now we're on the last column. Yay! How many things can there be wrong with us, right? I would put shyness, but I think I've gotten over that. Now I think I've gone the other way. Like I'm too much, overbearing. I'm not considerate of others people. I just I say my truth. Transcendence. I would like to transcend the bullshit of this paperwork and all these threats. True to self. Well, I'm doing much better with that. Trust, I'm better with that. Work and career goals. Okay. All right. So next time, I'll just go through that process with someone else, and you can just tell me which ones you want me to work on a formula. So I have these different formulas here. So then I'm not going to do the next step here on all of them, but the next step is then they have the guide of the affliction and which flower essences to use. So I'm going to go to abuse. Here we have abuse. And then I would see which ones that I have, because I only have 38. And then the ones that I don't have, I would save that for next time. So then I have to see my list of the ones in this group, which is right here. And I don't have to do all that right now, but at least I'm headed on the right track. And let me just see. Maybe someone wants to know which ones are for abuse. Black cohosh. So for abuse, I'll just remember. Black cohosh, black-eyed Susan, Centauri. Okay, I have that one. Dogwood. Oh, I have a funny story about dogwood. I don't have that one. Echinacea. And these are flower essences, not tinctures, not homeopaths. They're different. I don't have evening primrose.
I'm gonna step down, sis.
Okay, thank you for being here, Nitra. I hope to join
No
you
worries.
soon. Peace and love. Thank you.
Peace and love. That's it. You're so welcome.
Evening primrose and golden eardrops, hibiscus, impatience. I have impatience. Mariposa lily, pine. I have pine. Pink monkey flower, pink yarrow, pretty face, purple monkey flower, rosemary, snapdragon, star of Bethlehem. I have that one. Sweet chestnut. I have that one. And vine. I have that one. So then I would put together those remedies in the tincture, and then I would use those when I wanted to deal with my soul wounds of abuse. And then you would just put a few drops in your water every day and just watch the drops. All right. So I'm so sorry Nitra had to leave. I think I took too long getting to the inviting people to speak. So for those of you that are still on the call, if you want to join in the conversation, you want to share any of your experiences with health or healing or wellness. I'm trying to see who's on here still. Natural Mystic is still on here. And Thomas A. Anderson. So, how do you invite them on here? No. Okay, yeah. Okay. So if you'd like to join the conversation, I really appreciate you tuning in. And those of you are live on this broadcast, and those of you on the replay, if you have any questions, I could open it up to the pendulum reading again. Or Dua Nitra for being here today. She is such a wonderful supporter, and she had to go. But I'm opening it up for pendulum reading. Or if you want to go through the flower essence, just type in your question or concern. I can read through the different. I just wrote down the ones I'm going to be working on in my little formula, but some of the other afflictions, and it's funny I'm calling them afflictions because these are afflictions are also fetters of Set when you think about it. So these are flower essences that we can help us as we move past fetters of Set. All right, I don't see that page anymore, so let's go. So they have flower essences for abandonment, abuse, acceptance, action, manifestation, addiction, adolescence, aggressiveness, aging. If you have any, like the sister said, she's interested in the one for city life. So I'm going to put together one for city life. Alienation, altruism, ambition, ambivalence, anger, hostility, resentment. These are animals and animal care. These are all afflictions that you can obtain a flower essence for. The Bach flower essences. Turn this down a little bit more. Already turned it up. Okay. Yeah. Appreciation, attachment, avoidance. So these are all things that we can address energetically and by using flowers, which has got to be the most amazing thing. Okay, so for those of you that are still on, do you have any wellness questions that we could address today? Anything at all? While you're still here, I'm going to be here for another 25 minutes. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Natural Mystic. Do you have any questions at all? Oh, like new messages. Thank you so much, dear. You're just wonderful. Thank you. Again, any questions at all about pendulum readings, ancestral blockages, issues? If you have any questions about herbs or the Bach flower remedies? One of my favorite books, Are You Confused? I'm here to answer any questions during the last 20 minutes of these discourses. You can visit the website, open your money flow if you want to start the 40-day prosperity plan. Starting that during the new moon is like primo. We could talk about things to do during the new moon. I'll play the new moon chime. Opening the way, the sun and the moon in Ma'at, Sidereal, Venus, Sidereal, Libra. It's an excellent time to write out your abundance strategy, your abundance plan. You do your 40-day prosperity plan. You can get a check and write it out to yourself, a check for abundance, write it for $100,000, $1,000, $10,000. The amount really doesn't matter, but you sign it from the universe, and then you put them in a drawer and forget about them. And one day, without you knowing, your abundance will it will increase. You'll have a shift in your abundance. You could write in your journal about your visions and your goals and your intentions for the month. You could start a new garden, anything where you're planting seeds. You could start anything, any one of those 21-day challenges, 40-day challenges, 10-day challenge. It's a time for a new beginning, starting something new. What am I starting new? I'm starting my spiritual practice over again. I got kind of sidetracked when I made the commitment to finish my books that I've been writing, or been meaning to write or finish. The first one was the Hesiu Neteru, the Book of Frequencies and their correspondences to the Neteru. And then the other one is the Akuseneb, the reflective movement meditation yoga system that I developed, which is really based on the Tef Neteru system. The difference is that with the Akuseneb system, you recite the affirmations out loud, or you sing them, or you're chanting while you're moving. And so it becomes a process of creation, not just doing yoga, but you're going through the process of the creation with the Neteru, becoming the Neteru, moving like the Neteru, thinking like the Neteru, addressing yourself as a Neteru. So I finished that book. I finished the frequency guide. I have my I have two books. One of them is already online on the computer, but I have to get it, published. That was my Olmec Celestial Travel Guide. Oh, thank you for the love. Thank you. Welcome to Good Rising TV. I don't need to say it when I have the sign. There we go. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tapping your screen. Because when I stop and say it, I lose my train of thought. That's why I made the sign, so I won't lose my train of thought. So what was I talking about? Things to do with the new moon. Planting your seeds. What am I doing at the new moon? And so I'm restarting. So I took time away for the books. And I was talking to you about the book. The other book is the one about my travels through, I started the series of my travels through Central and South America. And then I allowed Horace Butler to freak me out, and I got scared, and I didn't publish it, and I didn't write any more travel guides. But that was in 2007, and I'm much stronger now, so I'm ready to publish it. It's based on his book, When Rocks Cry Out. Uh-oh. And we talk about this mostly on Jamaican Tuesdays. It's about the connection between the culture of Tamari and Kemet. And it was really, this is the book that took me over to the point where I couldn't ignore it anymore. So we talk about that on Tuesdays. But anyway, sorry, I lose my train of thought. Doing at the new moon, the books. Okay, so when I made the commitment to finish the books, oh yes, what are you going to be doing for the new moon? I had to take a break from my consistent spiritual practice. I had gotten so on point. I was not missing a day. And so at this time of the middle of fall, you can't see the things I wrote. It's this time in the middle of fall, Dia de los Muertos, November 1st, Days of the Dead, Days to honor the ancestors. We are going to, it's like hitting the reset button. That's the thing about the eclipses, the equinoxes, and the mid-seasons. They're like hitting the reset button. Everything is wiped away and you're starting. Oh, good rising, Natasha. Great Awakenings. Thank you for tuning in. Unfortunately, we're at the last quarter of this program, but I'm so glad that you're here. And if you're moved to, you can watch the replay once it's posted. It was a really good session. And right now we're talking about things to do at the new moon. So I'm talking about how it's also the time for Dia de los Muertos. It's the point on the spiral dance medicine wheel, the middle of fall. And it's the new moon. It's the time for new beginnings. And I was talking about how I'm going to get back on track with my spirit practice because I did finish the lead paint abatement. That was the other thing I was working on, getting the temple, ready. So I'm getting the temple ready. I'm doing the painting. We're going to do painting on the weekend. And we're going to have the spiral dance medicine wheel Friday morning at 7 a.m. Central from Pebble Beach. And so all these things are happening. This is a huge time of new beginning. And we're moving into the new beginning with talks or fasting. Oh, July English, you're here. You want to join the live? Going to be doing your rituals and spiritual baths. Yes, spiritual baths. Yes. Abundance check writing, all those things. And then tomorrow night at midnight when it's really a powerful time to do this because this is the All Hallows Eve, what the Western imperialists call Halloween, but it's the time to do your ritual to prepare your sacred space, your body temple, so that the ancestors will be welcomed there the following night for Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, and also All Saints Day. So tomorrow night's when you're doing your botanicas, your intentions, your affirmations, your prayers, your chants, your rituals, your spirit baths, your yoni steams, all of those things. This is the perfect time to do those things, to increase your wellness and make your life flow and removing blocks and obstacles that are in our lives. That's what we talked about. So we still have a few more minutes. Anyone interested in a pendulum reading? Show me yes. Show me no. Show me, is there anyone on here interested in a pendulum reading? No. Okay, so no one is interested in getting any blocks removed. All right, is anybody interested in learning about their Bach flower remedies? If you have any afflictions that are afflicting your soul, homeopathic remedies are for body, emotion, tinctures, bodies, emotions. But these flower essences are for the soul. That's what we learned today. They're for the soul, healing the soul. How often can you do that? Well, of course, it would be a flower. Of course, it would be flowers that can bring about healing. Earlier today, we learned that there's a flower essence called City Life. I didn't even know that. Oh, thank you for following me, Divine 999. I had never even known that. I only knew about the 38 Bach flower remedies. So let's pull a card for the group. I've seen people do that. These are like tarot cards, but they're for the flower essences. So I'm going to do a reading for the flower essence, for the Bach flower remedies, and the next time you're out at the health food store, the health food restaurant, oh, come and join me in the discussion if you want to. You'll be walking down the aisle and it'll reach out to you and you'll say, oh, that lady was talking about this on Good Rising Tea Wellness Wednesday. She said that the group needed to get this flower essence. So I've got the cards here. I'm just doing the deck like I would any tarot card. And you're only supposed to have 3 remedies in the bottle. And and so like if you reach out to me, I'll prepare it for you. We'll prepare it. You can make a small donation to Osmology Temple. So I'm just going to pull 3 of these cards. 1, 2. Mix them up one more time. 3. Okay, so what did I pull for today? I pulled. They make the writing so fancy, I can't hardly read it. Splenetius, Glenetius, or is it? Yeah, Glenetius, olive. So these are flower essences, not essential oils, not tinctures, not homeopaths, and vervain. Okay, so let's read about those. I need some light. These pinhole glasses are excellent, but you really need to have bright light, strong light. In case you don't know, they're pinhole glasses. They have these holes in them. They force your eyes to focus instead of magnify what you're looking at. Vervain. So the toxic symptoms are stress, fanatical, highly strong, and intense. And the positive aspects are relaxed, mellow, and objective. The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. Mellow. This ancient plant has been used in herbal medicine for hundreds of years to create to treat nervous problems and insomnia. The next one, olive. Positive aspects, vitality, zest, revival. Negative aspects, extreme exhaustion. Man, I can't even. What is this? Extreme exhaustion. Oh, following illness or trauma. Olive. The olive tree is frequently mentioned in ancient religious texts such as the Bible, Book of Mormon, and the Quran. It is one of the symbols of the Greek goddess Athena. Vitality is the key word there. And again, these are flower essences, not olive oil or tinctures or essential oils. Oh, thank you. Choose Me 2023. Thank you so much. Yes, these are Bach flower remedy cards. They're flower. I'll read a little bit about them after I finish this one. They're flower essences that Edward Bach discovered by traveling to Africa and observing healers there, where they would take a purified container of water and then place the water next to a living flower, and the flower would transfer its essence to the water. And we take them in diluted form, like you create this bottle by just taking 3 to 4 drops of the actual flower essence. And then when you use it, you just take 2 to 3 drops and add it to your glass of water. So earlier today, I came up with a list of remedies that I'm going to use for myself. I did a pendulum reading, and now I just did one for the group. So if you want one, you reach out to me and I'll make you this little essence for, something, donation, whatever. And so this one's Glemitius. So these are soul healings, not physical healing or mental or emotional, but healing the soul from a flower. Indecisive, fickle. These are the toxic traits. Unbalanced, dizzy. Oh my gosh, that's me. How did I miss that before? And then the positive traits, decisive, stable, balanced. That's the one I want. I want to become that. Okay. So they're Bach flower essences, and I have the kit here. Bach only has 38 essences in his group. Ouch! Ooh. And I'm a Bach flower certified practitioner, so you could come to me and I could make your flower essence, or you could just go to the store and get your own. And the Bach flower essences, and then they just come in little vials. These, they look like tinctures or homeopaths, but they're just flower essences. And you just add 2 drops of this to your glass of water. And I just had the tarot cards or oracle cards. You can help decide which one you want to use. And then they also have these, and you can find Bach flower remedies online. There's several different makers, like what is this one? Nelson's. They're like the most famous. And then there's people that just make them. Just regular people that are small companies that make them. I got one from the Nelson's, the official, so-called official. They're the ones that have the most money for marketing. And then I got one from just a small business. And then they have these posters that you can use to learn more about them. This is the kit that I got from, what's the name of this company? Creature Comforts. So I'll write them down. This chart. Because I just started working with them again. It's been a long time. When I first started healing from my assault, I had the good fortune of taking a class and getting certified and obtaining my first kit. And then I ran into some difficulties. And I was joking at work that I was going to start dancing at a strip club to get money to pay my rent. And one of my co-employees heard me and he gave me the money to pay my rent. But then 2 years later, he said he needed that money back. And so I had to sell my kit. And that was like 40 years ago. I just now bought a new kit. So I'm going to write this down. Bach Flower Remedies. And no matter what you read about how wonderful this guy in England is and all that yada, 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 just know that he went to Africa and observed African naturalists, herbalists with these flower essences. And then he came back, he went back to England and made them, in a lab. Because I guess making them out in nature is not good enough. Scientific lab and all that. And so he's credited with it. But just know this is another form of African spiritual technology that was taken over by Western imperialism. But when you're using it, just know that you're using traditional technique, even if you're not getting it from traditional African flower essence makers. And that's something that I would like to investigate. I would like to get them from somewhere in Africa. Because, as I mentioned before, Bach Flowers Kit has 38 essences, and then he has 2 essences for emergency called Rescue Remedy. But this book has over 200 essences. Imagine how much someone in Africa has. That, the tradition was handed down to them from their ancestors. They must have 1 million flower essences, So I'd like to find out more. And so the company in England, so there's two brands. Nelson is the most popular or most well-known. And then the company that put out the cards and the posters is Creature Comforters. That's what it is. Creature Comforters. Creature Comforters. Okay. And so I'm going to make up a remedy with these things that I have. And I'm going to find the one called City Life, because I know Nitra wants the one that's called City Life. And then I'll make them available. I can't say I can give them away, but you can certainly make a donation to Osmology Temple of Divine Light, Healing, and Sweet Sounds. And that should work. All right, so that's all that I have. Oh, I know. Some shameless product promotion, just more wellness products. I've been using this pink stuff. You can get it at my TikTok shop, of course. It's 99% natural ingredients, environmentally non-toxic, non-hazardous formulation, not tested on animals. They have a TikTok page and Instagram page, Clean with Pink Stuff. It's for cleaning your refrigerator, your stove, your bathtub, and it smells really nice. since this is a big night for cleaning, I thought I'd bring that out. And then also, if you're doing some detoxing, I'm a big fan of Dr. Schultz. Again, I know Dr. Sabi and Dr. Africa and Queen of Four have products. I've been using these products before I knew Dr. Sabi and Dr. Africa. I still use them. I use all kinds. This is not the only one that I follow. I just grabbed a few to show some of the wellness products that I use. This product, magnesium flakes. I've been using these. You can find these in my TikTok shop. It's instead of Epsom salt. This is just the magnesium, because I think Epsom salt is magnesium and salt, and this is just magnesium. So it's a whole different feeling. And then you can add pink Himalayan salt if you want salt instead of like just regular table salt. And that's from Micro Ingredients. You can find it at my TikTok. And I've been adding lion's mane to my smoothies, which is wonderful. I love getting lion's mane from the farmer's market too. It's so yummy when you just roast it or broil it. And then some other of my favorite wellness products here. Of course, the pinhole glasses. You can get those at lightbeingwellness.com. Soon to be added to my TikTok shop. And I'm also speaking with a manufacturer about getting wooden frames, bamboo frames, designer frames. Yeah, I'm excited about that. And we just got some more sage sticks. You're going to be using that a lot tonight and tomorrow while you're getting your space ready for your rentals. And then, of course, how could I not talk about tea chia medicinal salves? Soon will be available at your TikTok shop. Right now, they're at Etsy, Ecwid, and lightbeingwellness.com/shop. I have arthritis formula, skin formula, bone wellness formula. Superpower has all three. I have those with Basti Blend and plain. I'm working on the Uranus formula for hemorrhoids, and the hormonal acne formula. I'm working on a woman's formula for our yonis and our wounds, and a compassion salve for when you just need a hug. Smells good. All right, so I will be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Central for Good Rising TV, Natarian Devotion on Thursdays, and then Friday morning at 7 a.m. Central from Pebble Beach for the Mid-Fall Spiral Dance Medicine Wheel. You'll be able to view these live on TikTok and YouTube, and the replay is available on YouTube. I want to thank you for staying to the end. Oh, Shirex47, thank you for tuning in. I'm just about to tune out. You can catch this replay at my Kimatones Cosmic Sound Healing YouTube channel. I'll be here tomorrow from 8 to 9:30 a.m. Central. And if all goes well, we'll have a special guest of someone who is an Ifa practitioner. So we can talk about the correspondences and connections between Ifa and Kemet, and the Natarian practices of Ifa, of the Orisha. Orisha is the cosmic forces of nature in the Yoruba tradition, and the Netaru are the cosmic forces of nature in the Kemetic tradition. So we're going to be talking about those similarities if we can get them on here. All right, thanks again for tuning in. My name is Tachia, aka Arit, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hatep. Thank you so much. Hatep.